Products advertised on the following program do not necessarily represent those of KTLV or its management.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you wherever you are. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by your Allstate insurance agent, your exclusive agent, Marilyn Kildry. Marilyn says that if it's life insurance you want, call her. If it's home insurance, if it's boat insurance, call her. In fact, she says that whatever your insurance needs are, call her. The telephone number is 84803. 843-0811. Let me repeat that, 843-0811. The first part of this program is in memory of Charles Parker. Charles Parker, the fifth born of 6 children, was born in Oklahoma City on May 15th in 1937. He grew up in the Parker's Heights addition, attended and graduated from Dungy High School. He later attended Oklahoma University in Norman, Oklahoma. But in 1954, Charles and Gladys Wandig were united in marriage, and to this union 2 lovely children were born. Cassandra Gale and Stephen Edward. Charles, an outgoing personality, an easygoing, concerned, caring, and giving person. He will always be remembered. He loved flowers, and he loved to give flowers. He loved to arrange flowers. But on January 31st, 1994, Charles Parker died. There are so many things that we would like to say. There are so many words that we would like to give. But how can you determine the worth of an individual and how he has affected lives? I have asked one of my students, and certainly Charles was one of my favorite students. I've asked Geraldine Cardowny to give me her impression of Charles Parker. Geraldine.
Mrs. Luper, I'd like to share with our radio audience, Charles Parker was a very outgoing, warm person. Whenever I would run into him, in fact, we graduated together. And whenever I would run into him, I don't care how long a span of time it would be, he would always greet me with a warm hug and a smile, and we'd always have something to say and reminisce about our past, even in school. Charles, yes, he will be missed, but it's good that we do something while others can miss us. Charles, your class will miss you. But we're grateful that you have left something behind, as Mrs. Luper has already stated. He loved working with flowers. Yes, we will remember him for his great work. So today we say to the family, look to the hills from whence come your help. And this is a debt that we all will pay one day. And we just need to remember to leave something behind that people can say, yes, I remembered him for his laws, for his love, for his country, or for his city, or for his state. Yes, family, look up today. And remember that our Savior has promised all of us that he will not put any more on us than we can bear. Now, Miss Luper, God bless you. You always have something to encourage the family. Be strong and be courageous. God bless all of you. Have a great day. And I want to leave this with you. If we have a listener that don't know Jesus, I encourage you, I admonish you to get acquainted with him, because you are going to pass this way, and so will I. Bless you, Miss Luper, again.
Today at 11 o'clock a.m., a crowd will gather at the True Vine Baptist Church, Northeast 41st Street in Spencer, Oklahoma, to say goodbye to Charles Parker. There will be a selection. I'm free, and certainly today, Charles is free from the ills of the world. But there's a bright side somewhere. Mr. Johnson will sing The Last Mile of the Way. There will be scriptures by Reverend F.L. Wilson, Reverend Carl Newton, and then a prayer by Reverend W.B. Parker. There will be resolutions. The eulogy will be given by Reverend R.L. Raymond Lundy. Yes, Charles Parker has gone home to be with his Savior. His pallbearers will be Franklin Parker, Charles Frazier, Ricardo Burns, Oscar Ray, Robert Triller, and Leroy Swain. And then the honorary pallbearers will be Maurice Parker Jr., Kermit Parker Jr., Leonard Parker, Ronnie Wooden, Milton Wooden, and Dwight Parker. Carrying the flowers that Charles loved so well, will be Dolores Jackson, Clarissa Douglas, Maxine Sutton, Hattie Peoples, Lois Lester, Maggie Hamlin, Maxine Reeves, Beatrice Haywood, and Anna Mae Anderson. And then he would be laid to rest in Hillcrest Memory Garden in the Oklahoma City area. Charles Parker. Many of you will know Charles through his lovely mother, Mrs. Carrie George. Through his two children, Cassandra Gale Matthews of Wilmington, Delaware, and Stephen Parker of Oklahoma City. One sister, the lovely, talented Wilma Wooten of Midwest City. Of his brothers, Kermit Parker, Lloyd Jean Parker, both of Oklahoma City, and Maurice Parker of Houston, Texas. Charles leaves to mourn his parting 6 grandchildren and a large number of other relatives and friends. There will be a poem on the program today. The plan of the master weaver. Our lives are but fine weavings that God and we prepare. Each life becomes a fabric planned and fashioned in his care. We may not always see just how the weavings intertwine, but we must trust the master's hand and follow in his design. But he can view the pattern upon the upper side, while we must look from underneath and trust in him to guide. Sometimes a strand of sorrow is added to his plan, and though it's difficult for us, we still must understand that it's he who feels the shudder. It's he who knows what's best. So we must weave in patience and leave to him the rest. Not till the loom is silent and the shutters cease to fly, shall God unroll the canvas and explain the reasons why. The dark threads are as needed in the weaver's skillful hand as the threads of gold and silver in the pattern he has planned. Yes, Charles Parker's funeral will be held today at 11 a.m. at the True Vine Baptist Church in Spencer, Oklahoma. Now for a personal note. Charles Parker was my student, and more than that, he was my friend, and more than that, I call him one of my favorite sons. But one thing that will be missing from now on, I will not have Charles Parker to fight my verbal battle when I'm attacked by others. No longer will I have the encouraging words, the flowers, yes, a barbecue sandwich, or an invite or a call, or someone to come by and say, Miss Luper, how are you feeling today? I will miss that. I will miss Charles Parker because Charles Parker belonged not only to the Parker family, but to all of us that loved him so well. Calvin, you knew Charles.
Indeed, I did, Mom. I was just thinking, and I've been thinking all morning about what I could say about Charles. And the only thing that I've come up with is that Charles is a friend. Charles was a friend. And I've been knowing him since I was about 5 years of age when he was a student of yours at Dungey and I was in school at Dungey. Charles, I could always tell how he'd done in your class because of his reaction when he'd see me coming down the hall going to your classroom. If you had gotten on his case, I would get a thump upside my head. If he had done well in class, he would pick me up and, rush me to your classroom. And throughout our lives, it has continued like that. He's been a source of encouragement. He's been a source of inspiration. And just recently, during the recent election and the campaign, one of the first signs that I put up was there at the barbecue stand. And I was proud, Charles was proud, and his encouragement daily has just been fantastic. I appreciate the opportunity that I have had to have a good friend like Charles Parker. And I want to join with everyone in extending my sympathies to the family, but I want to also extend my encouragement because if everybody can be like Charles, I know that our city, I know that our state will be a better place. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity of having Charles Parker as a friend indeed, a very good friend, and a friendship that I will always treasure and that I will always be proud of, that I can say that Charles Parker is my friend.
The family of Charles Parker acknowledges so much with sincere gratitude and appreciation the expressions of kindness and sympathy that has been extended to them during these trying days. The prayers, the cards, the flowers, the telephone calls, and other acts of kindness will always be remembered. Yes, today at 11 o'clock, it will be goodbye to Charles Parker. But as we look through the dim tears of history, we will thank God for the memory. We will thank God for the memory of Charles Parker. Yes, services will be held today at 11 o'clock a.m. for Charles Parker. Thank you, Charles. And most of all, we've got to pause and thank God for Charles. Faithful student, faithful person. And Charles, I thank God for you. Thank you for the flowers that you have given all through the years. And I shall always remember decoration days because Charles would always pick out a special or some special flowers for my mother, my father. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Thank you, Charles. This portion of our program was brought to you by Dr. A.L. Dow, your optometrist, who's located at 934 Northeast 8th Street in Oklahoma City. Dr. A.L. Dow would like to say thanks for those of you that have supported him through the years. Those of you that have understood that your children's eyes and your eyes are the most important part of your body. Dr. Dow would like to say thanks because you have listened. You have recognized certain symptoms that would indicate that your children were in trouble. Trouble. And today I would like to say those of you that can see some symptoms if your child is sitting too close to the television, if your child turns or tilt his head to use one eye only, if your child has burning or itchy eyes, headaches and dizziness, don't overlook it. Call Dr. Dow. The telephone number is 235-0536. 235-0536. 0536. Hometown IGA is open 24 hours for your convenience. Located at 2001 Northeast 23rd Street, waiting for you. Hometown IGA supplied employment for people. Hometown IGA. That's Hometown IGA, and you can't miss it. It's on the corner of 23rd and Martin Luther King Avenue. Well, this is a Clara Luper radio show, and today my heart, like many others, my heart is heavy. But with the strength that God has given me, we shall go through our program. Incidentally, Charles Parker was the first treasurer of the American History Club at Dungy High School and a strong supporter of the NACP Youth Council and the projects that we were engaged in. For example, his daughter Gail was president of the NACP Youth Council for a long time before she finished high school and went on to college and then went on to Delaware. And we are very, very, very thankful to God for the support that we have given. So as you pass Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King, just remember Charles Parker, who was part of that. This is Black Heritage Month. Started in 1926 by Carter G. Woodson, finalized by Congress in 1976. All over America, you will be hearing about Black history. And I would certainly invite you to be with Fifth Street Baptist Church as we celebrate Black Heritage Month. Our theme for that month is, how can Black history make you a better Christian? There will be historical events told by people that have lived it. For example, tomorrow morning, Mr. Mitchell will tell how Black history helped him to be better. Coming from the state of Alabama, he will tell us his experience. Then Mr. Ford will tell us the next Sunday about his experience in Texas. How can Black history make you a better person? And then Connie Bird will tell us about her experiences in Virginia. How can Black history make you a better person? Oh, it's good to talk about Black history, to walk about it. But then you've got to recognize that unless Black history can make us better people, this month will be a waste of our time. Charles Parker was a part of Black history. And now, in memory of Charles Parker, we are going to dedicate this song, I'm Going Home. The program is being brought to you by Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. That's a barbershop. That's a friendly barbershop. That's a barbershop that will give you that look that you want. That 1994 haircut look. It doesn't make any difference what kind of haircut you want. Whether you want one of these fancy styles or you want to stay with the traditional style. Mr. Gates and Mr. Gamble are ready to serve you. Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. Mr. Gates, a strong supporter of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. Take it away, Calvin.
It is getting close to the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant time. You know, a lot of you have heard that listen to the Clara Luper radio show here on KTLV regularly. You've heard a lot about the Miss Black Oklahoma, but then there's some new listeners out there. And we want you to know that the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant is directed by Clara Luper, the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant has been an example of the pride and the success of blacks and their achievement. The Miss Black Oklahoma pageant has increased an appreciation of Black history with the professional presentations, research, and the growth of the pageant. The pageant emphasizes the interrelationship of all ages and people. It's so constructed that it enables the participants, the parents, the patrons, and you, the audience, to become involved in the development and the making of good citizenship, high morals, and educational growth. Miss Black Oklahoma offers a platform on which the contestants, past and present, are able to display their beauty, their charm, their poise, their intellect, their knowledge, their courage, and of course their talent and their elegance. The contestants will spend 6 days here in Oklahoma City in an enchanting educational atmosphere that will expose them to a new style of thinking and to an insight on how productive life can be. Yes, indeed, it's getting close to Miss Black Oklahoma time, the pageant that will be emphasizing the positive experiences by erasing the negative images of blacks. The Miss Black Oklahoma pageant will relate to the job market, and that the contestants will be able to use their time during the pageant as a driving force where each one of them will have an opportunity to be evaluated by their own accomplishments and their performance. The pageant is designed for businesses that are concerned with the social, cultural, moral, academic, and the plight of today's youth. It serves as a proven deterrent from teenage pregnancy, drugs, school dropout, apathy, juvenile delinquency, and crime. If you're interested in becoming a part of the pageant, there are several areas where you can help. If you'd like to be a co-sponsor, your company can become a partner in the discovery and the development of the nourishment and the achievement of the talent that might be overlooked, unused, and wasted. The pageant has changed the lives of young people throughout this country, and especially here in Oklahoma. The pageant has benefited the contestants, the pages, the escorts, and the audience in just innumerable ways. If you want to be a part of it, your company can be a part of it, but there's another phase where you can help, and that is in the PAGE program. Now, the PAGE program is designed for the little Miss Black Oklahomans to participate. Now, this program was designed to involve young ladies from the ages of 5 to 17 years of age. This program develops positive attitude, self-images, and also will fulfill a need in today's world. This program will create new opportunities, goals, role models, and experiences for the youth. It will acquaint them with the real world. It demonstrates how failures can turn into success through hard work, dedication, and commitment. The proof of this can be seen in the schoolwork of the pages, the parental relationship of the pages and their parents, and in the change for the positive in the young pages' attitudes. Now, if you're a young man and you want to be a part of the Miss Black Oklahoma program, you've really got to be on it because you've got to be in contact with one of the contestants and see about being an escort. Now, the escort program is competitive. The escort program is a part of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, and the program calls for each contestant and for each page to be escorted by a well-groomed young man who must be trained to participate in this, the highlight of 1994, the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. So there you are. There are 3 areas, but then there's one other area that's very important, and that's the parental program, because the parents, too, will participate that night on the stage there at the Myriad Convention Center, where they will be not only proud of their young people or their kids, but they will have an opportunity to strut their stuff too. And the parents are trained by the dedicated staff of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. They will be trained in order to fit into the televised pageant and the televised program. And we will be there to make sure that this year's pageant will be better. We got to go some to make it better. But then these are the areas that you as the audience can be a part of, because we want you there to cheer your contestant on. We want the pages to be there to show their stuff. We want the escorts to be there and show how beautiful the black men are today. And of course, we want the parents to be there so that they can have that pat on the back that they so richly deserve. For one, giving their young people an opportunity to be in a pageant, but 2, for taking good care of those young people and taking care of them in a way that the entire state everyone that looks at that program is so proud of the young people that participate. But that comes about because of the hard work. But it also comes about because the parents are standing there behind them and working with them. That's just a little bit about the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, but it's coming up. Mom, there's some other things that I doubt if I overlooked.
I think there are some
know
things that are very important, Calvin, and that's the colleges that will be given scholarships. Langston University, Oklahoma University, Oklahoma State University, Rose State College, Phillips University, Oklahoma Baptist University, the University of Science and Arts, University of Central Oklahoma, Cameron University. There will be scholarships given by Merlin Hildred, your all-state exclusive agent, to Mrs. Freddie Stevens, that outstanding educator, Mr. and Mrs. William Hunter, by Phillips Petroleum Company.
And the Fred.
Well, they either learn or they have to fall out by the wayside. Isn't that right, Mrs. Hunt? You know, we've seen some that came in there, they were shy, and they still today remain shy, but then they did have an opportunity to participate.
And
and we've changed some, but we haven't changed them all, have we?
Well, no, we can't change the world. You know, you just say, thank God for the few that we have.
Yeah.
Thank God for those that, those parents that bring them. And those parents, we said, well, you can bring them and even this, oh no, this program is so wonderful. We want to stay and look at this. That we didn't know all of this was going on.
Well,
you all are talking about the past. Let's come up to the present, where today at 2 o'clock we will meet with the 1994 Miss Black Oklahoma City contestant. What are you going to tell them today, Mrs. Hunter?
Now that is left to me, and I'm not going to tell the public what I'm going to tell the contestants, because I'm going to be there at 2 o'clock to tell the contestants. Because now, if they want to know what I'm going to tell the contestants, we're meeting. Did you say where we were meeting up at the Freedom Center, 2609 Martin Luther King? This is where we will be. So if you want to know what I'm going to tell those contestants, you come up to Freedom Center, 2609 Martin Luther King, at 2 p.m. So, yes, we were talking about Monday. Now we're talking about what's happening today on Saturday. And and one thing I want to say, I got to talk about the past. We've also been recognizing the Black History Month. Each meeting, we talk about Black history, the accomplishments.
Well, aren't you studying Black inventors?
Right. We're inventors for this coming Monday night. It was educators last Monday night.
Mrs. Hunter, during the course of the pageant week of the Miss Black Oklahoma, there's a test that all of the contestants take that has to do with Black history. Am I correct?
Yes, I mean, wait a minute, Mrs. I think I've been so enthused. That wasn't no Monday night anyway. That was on a Wednesday night.
Oh, that's what I thought.
We had all of these speakers. We had special guests there on Monday night. And we really had special guests. They came and talked and shared their thoughts and their accomplishments with our young children and the parents. And I'm so grateful and thankful for the group for doing that. And I hope others will come in. Because in their talking, they recognize that our youth do not have enough recreational activities that they can attend and be a part of and enjoy going to. So I want to thank the group for coming. And talking about Black History Month, Miss Luper, you always go someplace on Black History Month, and I don't know what you're doing this time. Where are you going? Because I got to go out of the city.
Okay.
Doing some other place other than Oklahoma City.
Let's hope she don't go to
the end of this time and do that.
Let's hope she.
Usually, we go to all the prisons. Now, where are you going this time?
Mrs. Hunter, let's hope she doesn't go anywhere today except at Freedom Center at 2 o'clock and get with these Miss Black Oklahoma City contestants. They're the ones getting ready for everything.
Well, Thank you, Mrs. Hunter.
I can claim.
But I was very fortunate last week to go to Hoover Middle School, where Senator Angela Munson and I had the opportunity to speak to those young people. And I will be having some of those young people on my radio show. But on Thursday, February 10th, I will be home at Langston University.
That's my birthday, Mom.
On February 10th, I will be at Langston University. I will also be on Friday. I will be at Shields Elementary School, and then I will be in Dunkins at the old Douglas High School, where I will have the opportunity to speak. On the 14th, I've been invited to Moore, Oklahoma, to the Broadmoor School. On the 17th, I will be at Southeastern State University in Durant, Oklahoma. Calvin, I will arrive. I will go directly to Denison, Texas, and from Denison there will be a caravan that will go with me to Southeastern State University. Naturally, I'm grateful. On the 19th, I will be speaking to the women in Oklahoma City at 6900 South Walker. But on the 20th, I will be at Unity Baptist Church. Now, I would like to say that I'm very happy to be with Dr. Mays and those fine people at Unity Baptist Church. That will be at 3 p.m. On the 21st, I will be at the Berry House. And on the 22nd, I will be at Northeastern A&M College in Miami, Oklahoma. And I can go on and on.
Now, you're going somewhere and speak on my birthday, Mom. Don't you think you're kind of stretching things a little bit?
I will have something to talk about because I can talk about you. And that's let me wish you a happy birthday on February the 10th. And that's about all I can do. You don't need anything else but a happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
Letty?
Yes.
Okay.
I give it to him early also.
I can hear you.
I want to say happy birthday to Calvin now, because on the 18th, Calvin, I will have a birthday.
Oh, okay.
On February the 18th.
February the 18th.
Well, I'm going to wait closer to your day. Not only am I going to say happy birthday, but I'm going to bring you a gift, Mrs. Hudson.
Well, I said I would appreciate that. And it's all right, Calvin. You can take me out to dinner.
Oh, man.
Well,
we have a place to go, and that would be Steele's Restaurant.
Exactly
That's
right.
the best restaurant in this entire state.
That's exactly right.
Okay, well, thank you so very kindly, Mrs. Hunter. Now, those of you that plan to attend the Oklahoma City pageant, which is on March 5th, and I'm happy to report that our tickets are just about sold out. I've been informed that we have about 30 seats left for that pageant. It will be at the 5th season in. The Oklahoma City contestants, here they are. Tanya Simpson, Keisha Lewis, Kamisha Rawle, Twyla Terry, Talania Hatch, Becky Leach, Arnetta Gurley, Tayo Oli Nea, Rhonda Sampson, Tasha Wisby, Keisha Fowler, LaShonda Cooper, Tara Pettis, Maya Brown, Tracy Hope, and the lovely Tenella Lofties. We still have 3 places open for Miss Black Oklahoma City.
Now, when will that pageant be, Miss Black
March
Oklahoma
the
City?
5th. That's
March
gonna
the
be
5th.
2 of those young ladies will go on the stage. One will represent Oklahoma City, and the other one will represent Oklahoma County. The public still has the opportunity to put 3 more in.
You know, if I was if I wanted to buy an ad or something, how I contact the young ladies, or I contact you, or
Contact those beautiful young
Because there's
ladies
some
and
businesses
you
out
contact
there.
me. Right.
businesses out there that need to be helping to be a co-sponsor of the pageant. You know, and those young ladies' names, I know that their names are important, but their hard work and their dedication, that we will all have an opportunity to see that on March the 5th. Where will that pageant be?
That pageant will be at the 5th season in 6200 North Robinson Street in Oklahoma City. And there's some young men that are really getting ready for this pageant. Cameron Myers, Cicero Quinn IV, Quentin Germany, P.J. Pearson, Kennedy Germany, Chris Coverdale, Jonathan Smith, Chris Arnold, Orlandis Watson, Rashawn Briggs. Oh, that's just a few of the young men. And if you
They will
want,
be escorting the Miss Black Oklahoma City.
yes, that will. No, and the pages have to have escorts.
You mean the pages? The pages will be in attendance at the Miss Black Oklahoma City.
And not only that, they will be performing to the tune of Lest We Forget. And this is a year of the Afro-American, and we are going to really celebrate. And we do have something to celebrate. And talking about celebrating, we have prayed and asked God to let us live to see the day when black people can move ahead. Well, during February month, we ask you to support black businesses or businesses on the east side that are hiring blacks. Now, we can change the history of this city by not talking, but by going into Stale's Restaurant, Florence's, Oakland.
Tom's Oakland.
Yeah, Tom's, Oakland, Leo's, and other places here, and saying that I am here and I believe in black history. How can black history make me a better Christian, a better citizen? By supporting blacks. You say, well, they are penny high. What difference does that make? They will never be able to compete until we realize the importance of competing. Now, speaking of that, if you're thinking about an automobile, go to Crossroad Chrysler, located at 201 Southwest 74th Street in Oklahoma City. At Crossroad Chrysler, you can get the car that you've been dreaming about at the prices that you can afford. Go to Crossroad Chrysler. Now, I want to repeat that. Crossroad Chrysler. 201 Southwest 74th. And when you get there, tell them that you heard it on the Clara Luper radio show. This is the day that we are really grateful to all of you for listening to us, and we have some loyal listeners that's been with us for years, and we would like to salute you. And during this month, I would like for you to drop me a card at Post Office Box 11106 and tell me how long you've been visiting with Clara Luper. Just think, I have the opportunity to visit with you each Saturday. But Mrs. Gloria Matthews and Mr. Paul Matthews have the rare opportunity to train your children at Thompson Jardina's Preschool and Nursery, located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street. And you may call them at 424-4656 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I would like to publicly invite our elected officials to come out and talk with you on the Clara Luper radio show. I would also like to salute one of the pages who went out in Midwest City and won a pager, the lovely Rikisha Henderson. Thank you, and thank you for keep winning. And it was really interesting to hear our pages talk about the activities, how they've been involved in modeling and other things. And that's what we want. We want our young people to become involved. What can black history do for you? A study of black history, it can make you want to develop to your fullest potential, knowing that you can't make it by yourself. And I would like, Kevin, I understand you will be speaking in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Yes, I will, Mom. I'm not
during Black Heritage Week.
I know it will be during Black History Week and Black Heritage Week.
Think that's great.
And it's going to be.
I just love to hear you speak.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. You know why? Because I will have an opportunity to talk on the subject of courage of black women, and it's going to be fantastic because I know some courageous black women, and I think I know we all do, but I know that I will have a very exciting speech, and I'll be happy to report on it, and I'll know that we'll be getting calls about how good a speech that was and how great Calvin sounded that day.
Okay, Calvin, now let's not be too.
But that's my only engagement. I'm doing on my birthday. I won't be going to Langston University speaking.
You are going. Okay, and you will be going with me, so I can tell people.
There are other things that will be going on that I haven't been invited to speak to yet, but I look forward to the opportunity. You know, the beautiful thing about speaking is that you have an opportunity to share some of the history that you've developed, and during my past 47 years, I've got a lot of history that I'm anxious to spread out and let everyone know about.
Okay, I didn't tell you that Tulsa's Miss Black Tulsa will be held on March the 27th. Miss Black Langston University on April the 3rd. Oklahoma State University March 24th. And, I could go on down the list. But Sunday at 5 o'clock at the University of Central Oklahoma, Sonia Carter and others present Miss Black UCO. This Sunday at 5 o'clock. Now, Northwestern State University has already selected a lovely young lady, Stephanie Ingram. From Burns Flat, Oklahoma, Jackie Calhoun from Clinton, Oklahoma, Mr. Redwine, one of the hardest working sponsors in the state of Oklahoma and a leader in every phase, will present Twyla Williams. Yes, Miss Black Oklahoma continue to grow, and those of you that plan to be, remember, it's a celebration. It's our 25th year, and we are ready to celebrate. Oh, let me tell you about a sit-in that really was a sit-in, and I would like to thank Emmett Smith for sitting in for financial justice. I'm going to tell you that story next week because I really think it's interesting. Now, it's a story it's fiction. I say the story of Emmett by Clara Luper. Rachel Luper was laid to rest on Friday. The services were held at Avery Chapel AME Church. So quietly she lived, so quietly she died. And today we would like to extend our sympathy to her brother-in-laws, Bert Luper and Willie C. Luper, to her sister-in-laws, Ellen Howard, Tenny Faye Johnson, and Tenny Faye is in Oakland, California, Eleanor Howard in Omaha, Nebraska, Bobby Topsy of Denison, Texas. So quietly, Rachel Luper lived. So quietly, she died. Calvin, you all smiles. What's going on? Hello?
Mom, I heard you mention about my Aunt Rachel, and I wanted to extend my sympathies to our family, at this particular time. We love her dearly. We miss her dearly. But,
okay.
Life goes on. But on the phone, I have a young man who's anxious to tell me and to tell our audience what it was. How are you doing, Mr. Miller?
Well, fine. Calvin, this is Michael Null Miller, and Clara, your program is wonderful, and I'm going to get some support.
Oh, but you have to talk a little louder, Mr. Miller.
Okay. We're going to get some support for the Black Oklahoma pageant. I can tell you that from the Edmond area. But Calvin mentioned that he's coming up to speak to us at the Channing Unitarian Universalist Church on February the 20th at 10 a.m. at our forum program, and that'll be at 1209 South Broadway. 1209 South Broadway in Edmond on February the 20th. Calvin Luper speaking about you, Clara, and other black women of courage, particularly Oklahoma.
Okay.
Part of the series, too, tomorrow, Dr. Ronald Keyes from Langston, the curator of the Black Heritage Center, will be speaking at 10 a.m. there. On next week, the 13th, we'll have Dr. Wallace Owens, professor of Langston, talking about black African art history, its influences today. And on the 27th, a week after Calvin speaks, we're going to have a great-grandson of Frederick Douglass there to participate in our service. So, anyway, thank you for such a great program and the chance to just mention that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Miller, for calling. I want to join with you in inviting everyone to be a part of the programs there at the Unitarian Church at 1209 South Broadway. But I especially want to invite them to come out February the 20th at 10 a.m. because I know to hear me, because I know it's going to be a great speech.
Okay, Calvin, and thank you, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, just Michael.
I really like to talk to my good white friends. Some of my best friends are white.
Well, thanks, Clara, and we're going to support the Black Oklahoma pageant. It's one of the best things going right now, probably the best.
Well, thank you so very kindly for it's a celebration, I remember,
right.
Because during the past 25 years, we've given over $250,000 in scholarships, trips, and prizes. And this year will be no exception. We won't be giving $250,000, but no telling what will happen when I get through talking and get through telling all of my friends about it. Mr. Miller, I always tease my white friends, I say, oh, they really love me. White folks love me so well until when I move in the neighborhood, they move out to give me more room to expand. Thank you, white folks. Well, my white friends, and some of them even invite me to dinner. I love that. But speaking of black history, let me give you a bit of black history. There's a young man in Oklahoma City. His name is Don Davis. He comes from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Well educated. Went to the University of Wyoming, the University of Colorado. A young man with ambition to go forward, to move forward. For the past 25 years, he's practiced law in Oklahoma City. And during 12 of these years, he served as an assistant associate municipal judge of the city of Oklahoma City. Yes, he has served with dignity in the absence of the regular assigned municipal judges. He's been considered for other judicial positions. However, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you today that Donald W. Davis has announced his candidacy for District Judge of Oklahoma County, Division 1, Office 9. Now, we aren't familiar with that office, but it's a newly created dual division, primarily located in the northeast and the near northwest areas of Oklahoma. Now, I will be telling you more about Donald Davis because Donald Davis is a supporter, a strong supporter of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. If you don't believe it, ask Nancy Davis. He's from Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and now it's time for the people from Sapulpa, Oklahoma to get behind Donald Davis along with our white and our black friends and push him on to victory. Now, when you look at judges throughout the United States, you will find that Oklahoma has less black judges than any other state, yet we do a lot of talk. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Let's celebrate the black history by supporting black businesses and businesses that are giving employment to blacks. Now, Calvin, today has been a very interesting day. I will be leaving here in a few minutes, and I will be headed to the True Vine Baptist Church, where services will be held for Charles Edward Parker. Now, let's see, what would I like for the people to do now? I would like for you to remember that we have enough of crime. It doesn't make sense for us to continue to kill, steal, and destroy public property. Don't you dare write on somebody else's property. If you own a house, you paid for it, you don't have a mortgage on it, and you want to write on it, don't write on it. Let's show dignity. Let's show love. To understand black history is to improve yourselves. I am not going to make any excuses for you, and I'm not going to accept all your collect calls when you go to prison. You tell me, well, Miss Luper, I had some drugs. You had no business with drugs. Drugs are your enemies. Talking about gold chains, you cannot wear them in the graveyard. So I urge those of you in radio land, just remember to respect yourselves. Respect your senior citizens. And remember that I don't want you to take during Black History talking about what all black people have done. Say what all we have done, because without Lyndon Johnson, we never would have heard of Barbara Jordan. I want you to remember that. We've got to think. And many of you in Oklahoma City are ashamed to go to the Black History Monument. It's embarrassing when people come here from all over this country saying, I've been the Black History Monument. How many churches and ministers have called for their audience to go and see the Black History Monument? I don't know. But I do know one thing. I love you dearly. And until we meet again, somewhere and somehow, just remember that I do love you.
And you know that I love you. This is Calvin Luper inviting you to have a great week. But more important than that, be proud of yourself, be proud of your community, because we are proud of you.
With these black hands, I shall not steal anything from anybody. I shall not hurt anybody. Rather, I will use these black hands to help. And if I can help one person, then my living will not be in vain. And until next Saturday at exactly 9 o'clock, this is Clara Luper saying we do have a petition for Dr. Dial. We do want the school named after Dr. Dial. If you want to sign the petition, come on and join us. The petition is at Freedom Center. And you don't have to ask nobody who shall you sign it. If you got any courage, you know any Black history, you will know Dr. Dial is the most deserving person in America for a school to be named after. Clara Luper, I do love you.
This is AM 1220, KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City.
Mr. Spriggs Real Pit Barbecue, 3925 North Lincoln Boulevard, featuring Mom's homemade sauce and custom cooking. Pork ribs, beef brisket, hot links, Polish sausage, and other barbecue specialties. Mr. Spriggs also offers catering, call-ins, or if you choose, just dine in. With a family atmosphere, Mr. Spriggs Real Pit Barbecue. Well, Mr. Spriggs says you don't need teeth to eat my beef. That's Mr. Spriggs Real Pit Barbecue, 3925 North Lincoln Boulevard. Well, they have the sauce.
A grand opening, a new beginning, a new fellowship at the Christ Community Baptist Church located at 5400 South Byers in Oklahoma City. Reverend Vernon Burris and the Christ Community Christian